Shalissa Turner.
Can you spell it for me?
Shalissa. Turner, Turner.
Okay, that's great. Why were you at the meeting? And let's say, why are you at the rally right now?
I'm at the rally because I heard some very inspiring information. I am on ODSP. I'm a single mother. I lost my kids and 2 children's aid because of circumstances around finances and being kind of subjected to, just a system that is not working for me and my children. And, I appreciate everything that I've been given, but I also did not like the information that I've heard today, and I'm here rallying against the rates and things like that.
Well, that's fantastic. I don't even need to ask the trick question. Okay, your name?
Lori Coleman.
Larry Coleman, Komon.
Correct.
And you're here because?
I'm here to advocate for people with disabilities, to raise the rates for Ontario disability. It has not been increased since 1994 when Mike Harris was around, and it's been just a sin that there's only been 2% here and 2% there, which doesn't equate to even the cost of living increases. And if you figure it out and you do the math, that a person on DSP earns less than $6 an hour. And the other issue that I have with that is the fact of no autonomy. A disabled person cannot have a spouse in the house or a child in the house who is earning monies, because that monies reflects on their income and thus they're cut off. So to me, that's a huge issue that people need to have their independence, and how dare we treat them with such disrespect.
What's the personal side of it? I think you alluded to it just a second ago. It's because you're rich and famous that you're involved, or?
No, it's because I'm poor. I'm poor. I'm poor and famous. I'm poor. I live in poverty. I've been doing property work for I don't know how long. I'm tired of seeing people suffer. I'm being a part of the change, but I want to be a part of more change. I want to see people change. I want to be a bigger change. I want to see a bigger change.
So we'll start off like this. In your name, just for the sake of that.
Yeah, John Clarke.
With an E?
On the end.
Yeah.
Ontario Coalition Against Poverty.
You're here because?
I'm here because today in Windsor we have participation in a province-wide week of action against liberal austerity and against the war on the poor that is taking place throughout this province. So people are organising, people are challenging what's going on, and today it's happening right here in Windsor.
John, I've known you for years, and yet I don't know why you're personally involved in this. Like, what's the motivation?
Well, I got involved in this movement because I worked in a factory, I was a trade unionist, and I got laid off, and that led to me taking some of the organising experience that I had in trade unions and working with others in London, Ontario, as a matter of fact, to build an organisation of unemployed and poor people, and it seemed to me a really important aspect of what needed to be done in terms of building a working class movement in this province, and so I stayed with the movement and became an OCAP organiser.
Wow, I never knew that about you.
Please welcome our panelists. And what we're going to do first is each panelist will have about 5 minutes to go and make a presentation of where they see our community currently. Then we're going to open up the floor for discussion, have a few questions and answers if anybody has any, and then we're going to wrap up.
They have actually repeatedly said no to me. I have applied for different things, and it urged me even to get into there. It just drives me bonkers. What do these people do for a living? To sit there and repress us? Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Richard. Next, if Lisa, would you care to say a few words?
No, I have to stand up. Just like to start off by saying I was on family benefits when I was a single mom at the time with 3 children when my carrots cuts were made in 1994. For me, that meant, and I was going to university. The whole setup they had for single moms on family benefits going to university was quite different than it is nowadays too, and that meant a $270 cut to my family benefits check every month, and it was devastating.
I want to stress something that I think is very, very important, and it's why we put a premium on cooperation between people living in poverty in communities and trade unions. We hear a lot of the word austerity is something that has ceased to be an obscure word. It's entering into people's lives, and people, I think, begin to know what it means. But one of the essential features of the austerity agenda is precisely the war on the poor, the assault on the adequacy of those programs that provide income support to people, the gutting of EI, the driving down of social assistance rates, the making of a system that is ever more and more precarious and inadequate. And people often say, this doesn't make sense, it's a counterproductive agenda, it's going to cost more to provide for people's health care because you're going to make people sick. And those things are all true, except it misses, I think, one thing, is that we have to get away from the notion that things are being run by a set of honest brokers of the common good who are all trying to do the best for people. That's, I'm afraid, not the way it is. This is a community that has an incredible history of resisting and fighting back. And I'm glad that Windsor 1945 forward was brought up, because that was a landmark struggle. And one of the things about that, I'm going to guarantee, is that it didn't just happen. It didn't just occur to some people one day to go out and do it. It actually came out of a process of organising and challenging. And so I think that what needs to come out of this meeting is a redoubled effort to be a voice challenging what's going on, to actually start organising in the community and start pushing back. And if that's taken forward even one tiny bit out of this meeting, it would have been 100% worth.
Excellent.
Wait a minute. Someone might.
Richard? You can sit there and you can laugh at Panhandle, laugh at people on the streets because they're the ones that are having to survive. I've done it. That's the reason why I'm here today speaking on this. We need to fight this. We need to stand up. We need to get this done. Push it, and push it back. Because I'm tired of being stomped on. Thank you.
What we're going to have to build if we're going to stop the austerity agenda is a united common front of working class resistance that goes all across the province. It is possible to do that. There are models of resistance, as it came up in the meeting. The model of resistance was built right here in Windsor. It showed that it was possible for working people to organise and to fight back, to do more than register their opposition, but actually change the conditions of their lives through struggle. We've got to turn back a virulent agenda. We've got to fight austerity. We've got to defeat it. We've got to fight to win. Thank you very much.
A song written 100 years ago by the Wobblies, the industrial workers of the world. And this kind of says it all and wraps it up. And fellow workers, you know this song, so if I forget the words, help me out. All right. Are you poor, forlorn, and hungry? Are you living in a shack? Would you have your troubles scattered? Then dump the bosses off your back. All the agonies you suffer, you could end with one good whack. Stiffen up your ornery duffer and dump the bosses off your back. Oh, what's the next line?